Scary, scary warning. Okay, we're going to do a makeup start to finish, and then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm going to put on my next video, which my newest video on my other channel, Dr. Andrea O'Connor. So let's start because this is me without makeup. Yeah, nothing is on at all. So I like to start with this advanced moisturizing cream, and then we're going to talk about the relationship of the Burt Reynolds, let's say his death and kind of that haunting situation and how it ties into the Sharon Tate house, because my new video on my other big channel, Dr. Andrea O'Connor, I'm going to talk about the Sharon Tate hauntings and how it ties into Burt Reynolds. Did you know there was a connection? Yeah. Okay. So this I picked up at Walgreens. I've talked about it before. I'll link it on the channel. Doesn't mean you have to buy it. It's just, just so you know the name of it. This is how thick, when I've talked about it, that I'll coat on. So if you're new to my channel, look at how thick. That's how thick, like it's this much. And I'll put it all over where the areas are just super dry. I get really wrinkly and dry right between my eyebrows. Look at that. I'm putting it on like it's a paste, like you're frosting a cake. And so it's a really thick cream. And then those are the areas I put it on. Okay, and I just kind of let it start to absorb as I'm talking here. I look ridiculous. Yes, I know that. But just one person said, hey, do a start to finish. So I thought, okay, why not? I used to do these videos a long time ago. But anyway, so my latest video, I was talking about Lonnie Anderson and how she saw what she said was the ghost of Jane Mansfield. And then, she was married to Burt Reynolds. I was reading about Burt Reynolds, and I'll get into the connection to Sharon Tate in a second here, that, he was with Sally Field for more than 5 years. They never did get married. Sally Field, in her book, her memoir, she said that Burt Reynolds asked her to marry her multiple times. But I guess in her book, she said he was too controlling, and she claimed that he may have been envious of her career. Like she won was it the Emmy or the Academy Award? I can't remember, but for the movie Norma Ray, and he wouldn't go with her to the awards ceremony. Now that's what she says in her book. Who knows what the real story is, right? Because there's always two sides to a story. But going off on Sally Fields for just a second, like I loved pretty much all her movies, and I always thought she was just so sweet. And I guess in her book, she talked about she underwent childhood abuse, but from her mother's husband, who was her stepfather. And I guess at one time he played Tarzan in the movies. I don't know. Not sure about that. But she said it wasn't like full on, it didn't cross a line, but she said she was very upset and scared when he'd come to her room, and there was inappropriate touching going on, stuff like that. So I don't know. I haven't read her memoir. I've just seen parts of it when I was reading about her relationship with Burt Reynolds. So yeah, we're still waiting for this to soak in. Like I'm doing this in real time because I'll slather this frosting on and then I'll walk around the house and get things done. That's how I do this. Yeah. Now, if you notice, I'm a little paler here than here because I do use self-tanner, but not on my face. You don't want to use it on your face, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to hasten this along a little bit. It does probably take another, 5 minutes for this to absorb, but we're going to work it in. Normally, I just let it sit there until it's fully absorbed. I know it seems like a lot, but once it's absorbed in, your fine lines, like all my fine lines around here, are so much better. And then the makeup goes on better. I didn't have to use this when I was younger, but I am over 50. And oh my gosh, does it help so much. Get your eyelids, get everything. And I'll just do this part, what I'm doing now, with like a lighter moisturizer, which I'm not going to use since I'm putting this all over. Yeah. Okay. And then move my hair back a little bit. It's okay if you get moisturizer in your hair. It's actually okay. It's good for your hair. Okay. So then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Hydrated, more hydration, tinted. So I have a few of these in different colors. This one is a very neutral one that I'm going to put on now. And again, just put it on like you would put on foundation, like the areas you would put. What color is this one? We'll see in a second. What one is this? Medium. This one's light medium. Light medium in this one. And if I get too much, I'll just kind of wipe it on the back of my hand so I can then wash my hands later. Or there's just more there in case I need it. I'm not being too fancy. Sometimes I use a sponge. Sometimes I use a brush. I know it's looking a little scary, but don't worry. I fixed this with bronzer. But why I like to get this everywhere, it's really moisturizing. It's a tinted hydrator, which is really, really cool. Now I can even, because it's a tinted hydrator, to make my hands look better, as I'm wiping the excess on my hands, sometimes I'll just put it on my hands so my hands look better, because we get discoloration on our hands. Now with foundation, you don't normally just all work it in like this, but since this is a hydrator, I'm trying to work it in. It's even mixing with the moisturizer I just put on underneath it. You guys know I'm not a makeup artist, so I'm just kind of this is just what I do. And if you're new to my channel, hi there, I'm Dr. Andrea O'Connor. I have another channel called Dr. Andrea O'Connor. This is my more casual channel, Doc in the Den, where we do fun stuff like this. Or I talk about things that I don't think my big channel would appreciate, or I don't want, I don't know, all the comments. I don't know. Okay, I don't really set this for too long. Again, I fan it in between because I'm in Arizona. It's ridiculous. It's in the, what is it going to be, 110 today, I think. It's already warm. So I'm just going to fan myself right now. I'm sitting in my den. If you didn't know, this is my den. Look, I just put my little dinosaur, I don't know, decoration right there. And in this bowl, I have the complete Jurassic Park box set. I thought it was appropriate to put it next to the dinosaur skull. Kind of funny. That's what that is. And then back here, this room kind of is the Americana vibe. I have a lot of Native American art and Western cowboy art in this room. And so this is a authentic jacket from the early 60s. It's a leather jacket with fringe, and I just think it's part of the decor. So that's what that is. So because I feel this is too light on my face, the next thing I'm going to do is the Milani foundation. Now, I don't do all, this is just today's recipe. I don't always use these products every day. I mix it up, but this is just today's. This color is Sand Beige. Conceal and Perfect. Now, warning, it really covers. So if you don't like a lot of coverage, and this one I have to be careful with and just dot it on. Dot it on where you want some color. And I'm just gonna, see, I'm getting color now. But I like it that it's going to mix with the lighter so it won't look so dark. And then I'm going to pat around. I'm not getting every nook and cranny because this is, again, just to give a little color over that tint. And apparently this foundation, it's kind of like a concealer and a foundation in one. So a little goes a long way. It is so thick. I know I still look weird, but don't worry, it's going to come together. And oh my gosh, if you're one of my male viewers watching, you're probably like, what is going on right now? I know you've probably already clicked off by now, so it's okay. Yeah. And then we blend. Blend down the neck. Okay, so this is the coverage. Wow, pretty good. Look, it even covered my little brown spot right there. And okay. Now, sometimes, I probably should do this just to show you the coverage factor of this because it is wild. This is the BB powder by Physicians Formula. This one is in the color, it's their Beauty Balm powder. Again, you can't find this in the store anymore. I have to order this online. And I am on the, what do they call it on Amazon? When you're the member, it just auto ships every month because I'm so afraid of running out of this. Because if I had to pick one of my favorite face makeups, it's this one. It will cover up the worst things. And so we're letting this set first, and then we're going to use this, and you'll see what I mean. So yeah, you want this to dry down a bit because that Milani Conceal and Perfect, it's very, very dewy and wet. It takes a while to dry down. So then we're going to take this. You can see I've used this one. It's almost gone. It does come with its own little brush and a mirror, that's kind of nice. But I take a big fluffy brush and just kind of dab the brush with it. And I don't like swipe. I just kind of just work it in. I be careful to avoid the fine lines because it'll make it look terrible. Like, I'm so puffy this morning too. It's not helping. Now, watch what it does with that. You can still kind of see that brown spot. Again, look at that. It's just such great coverage. So I've had people comment too, like when they've seen me without makeup, because I'll run errands without makeup, whatever. And people that I see regularly, then when I put makeup on, they're like, oh, what do you use? Like, what? I'm like, it's this. It's this. And even if you don't want to wear foundation, this is meant to be kind of an all-in-one. They literally call it all-in-one beauty balm powder. It is like a foundation powder, but I need moisture, so I just lay down those moisture hydrator products first, and then I do this one. Look, I am very covered up now. Okay. So now let's go in with some bronzers. I love this one. I've talked about it before. This is that Wet n Wild one, right? Bronzer powder. This is in the shade Ticket to Brazil. I love it as kind of a highlighter part, and it covers too. So more coverage, covering up all my freckles, whatever, brown spots. So I keep this high on the cheekbone, yeah. Use this one. Get it all over. Look at that. I'm starting to look very covered up. The whole point. Yeah. Whew. It is warm in here. Okay, so then let's get the other Wet n Wild one. That's this one. I've talked about it before. In the shade What Shady Beaches Wet n Wild bronzer. Love this one because it's a much darker shade. And then we're going to go a little bit below where I just put that other shade of the Wet n Wild bronzer. And this I kind of keep it just in this area because it is so much darker, just so my cheeks don't look so fat. And a little bit of color just near the hairline, just so I kind of work it into the hairline too, so you don't see like white scalp, which makes my hair look even thinner than it is. I didn't even talk about what the connection was. Okay, so anyway, reading about Burt Reynolds. Did you know that, so he died of a heart attack, right? Did you know he was at home going over his lines for the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? That was that Quentin Tarantino movie. And he was really happy. Burt Reynolds was reportedly really happy to be in this movie because it was kind of going over old Hollywood, like what was going on in the 1970s with stuntmen and all that. And, Burt Reynolds, like that's right up his alley, right? He did a movie about a stuntman, right? So he was going over his lines in his home, and then he had a heart attack. And so the filming never started. He never was able to be in that movie. And Bruce Dern, Laura Dern's father, right? Bruce Dern ended up playing that role. So if you've ever seen that movie and you see Bruce Dern's character, that was supposed to be Burt Reynolds. Isn't that interesting? But what was the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood about? So yes, it was the 70s and all that, but it kind of loosely tied around what happened with Roman Polanski's wife, Sharon Tate, right? She was 8 months pregnant, and her and others in the home at the time, which I'll go over in my other video that I'll put on my big channel, were murdered. And now there are reports of hauntings in her original house, which was then bulldozed, just kind of leveled, and a new property was built, which is also haunted. And so I'm going to go over the videos with the hauntings and everything and just really do that. So really, this is me getting ready for that video. So you're just kind of joining me, quote unquote, backstage in my den, getting ready to make that video. Okay, so now I used really a lot of drugstore products, right? I think that was all drugstore. Yeah, I'm gonna blend in a little higher end. I love this Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. I have the highlighter, the bronzer, the cologne. I love that whole line, and it smells so good. I feel, and it's a very beautiful compact. I'm not kidding you. You're probably going to say, throw that away. I've had this for like 5 years. The thing about high end, it does last a long time. It does. And I just love this color. And so I will use this now, and I'm just going to kind of gently. So we did the top, we did the bottom, and now I'm going in the middle through it. And that way I feel like you probably can't see it as much on camera or on this camera. I feel like when I do this, it just looks more like a bronzer with dimension, because it's kind of 3 different shades coming together as one. I'll put a little bit here just to make my nose, because, as you get older, so does your nose. It just grows, and so do your ears. Your nose and ears, they keep growing. Which is like, oh, great. That's great. Yeah, compare your high school photos to how you look now. Yeah. Got to get this area, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like I have color now. There's that. Okay, let's move. Oh, I will save that at the end. Let's move. We've got to get our eyes done now. So I'm going to use a drugstore palette. This is the Profusion Palette Chocolates. That's the name of it. And then I like to put the light color down first. This is not shimmery. This is this one. You can tell I use it all the time. This one's just not a lot of shimmer. I don't want a lot of shimmer shine, especially during the day. I don't know. It's just too much. Plus the highlighter that I use, that's got enough shine. So I'm just laying this down first because you'll see. Get in those inner corners just to wake up your eye. Yeah, we need all the help we can get. Well, I do anyway. All right, now I want to go in with a neutral shade. Now, sometimes I'll just use this bronzer, which I'm going to do right now just to kind of get this part. Just like a nice bronzy neutral. And then that way it'll kind of match with the rest of my face, really. See how that looks. Yeah. Ooh, it's kind of a lot. We'll tone it down here in a second. And I just blend around in little circular strokes. Ooh, this side's way too heavy, yeah, because this had other color on it. Okay, we're gonna fix it. Put a little light powder over it. And it's nice, just blend it all together. Is that right now? Oh, that really got dark right there for some weird reason. Okay, well, we'll fix it. Then I'm going to put, let's see what will go next. Move my microphone. I like to put like a gold shimmery color, like one of these, on the lid. Just on the lid, like right in the middle. That way, when you're blinking, you see it more. And I feel like just a little bit, not all over. And then I'm going to take, again, another light matte powder, and I'm just putting it there in case any of the gold got too close to my inner corner. Wow, they look awake and alive now. It's starting to look like what you're used to seeing on me, right? Yeah. Okay, then we're going to move to eyeliner. Oh my gosh, I have lots of different eyeliners. I keep reaching for this one. This is the Almay. I'll put it up close. Almay. It's a black one. What is it called? All Day Eyeliner Pencil. When I tell you this lasts all day, yes, it does. Because I'll put my makeup on in the morning, and then maybe after work, I'll do a video. My makeup's still like, I don't even have to touch it up. So I like to go, I don't want you looking at my nose, but I like to go in, well, it's the conjunctiva, but for this, we'll call it the top waterline. And you'll see, so for me, because, I don't have as much eye space anymore, look at the difference. just doing that upper waterline or the upper conjunctiva. Look at it, it makes such a difference. So we'll do this side. And if you've been doing your eyeliner forever, this is just no big deal. If you're new to eyeliner or you don't do makeup a lot, this is like traumatic. But like, I don't do my makeup on in the car, but I literally could just be sitting there driving and going like this because, I've done it so much. Okay, so we get that. I don't always do the bottom waterline, but for the purposes of this, we're going to do it. So I am going to get the bottom. Okay, I'm starting to, it's like being a ghost, and then all of a sudden I'm coming to life. Usually this is all I do, and then I'll do some dark eyeshadow around it, but because I'm going to do a video, I'll put a little bit on the outer corner there. Don't worry, I'm going to cover it with eyeshadow. And a little bit there. And then we'll fix it with eyeshadow so it doesn't look like so dark. Let's fix that now. Okay, I'm going to grab... what color? Okay, now I'm going to use another drugstore palette. This is just called California Love by ColourPop. I love these palettes because they're like, here in Arizona, I don't know, anywhere from $8 to $11. And look at all the pretty colors. And they do not irritate my eyes. So I think that's a great bargain. I'm going to use a dark shade. Kind of wipe it on the back of my hand. So yeah, it's not too much. And I'm just going to kind of go over that eyeliner I just put so it doesn't look so garish. Makes it a little bit more blended in there, right? Yeah. Oops. Do it on the other side. Yeah, I feel like it's such a tragedy what happened with the Manson murders. Did you know that after they murdered Sharon Tate and the other people that I'll talk about in the house, the next night they murdered another couple? I didn't realize that until I started really reading and getting prepared for the video. It's like, oh my gosh, she was so beautiful too. I guess her husband was not in the home at the time and he survived. Like, can you imagine? She was 8.5 weeks pregnant. Oh my God. I remember I was a little kid when that happened. I didn't know all the facts behind it. I remember my dad talking about it. And I just remember thinking of Charles Manson or Charlie Manson as a little kid, I thought that he was a monster. And this was back I used to live in Illinois and I was a little kid. And I thought, oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't come in our neighborhood. Because, as a kid, you don't get it, right? And I remember being really scared of him. And he had, especially with that little swastika that he had on his forehead, like, yeah. Okay, now on the bottom, we'll put an eyeshadow as well, just to kind of blend that in. And I like to brush all that brown off. I like to do more of like a gold or a peach shade. Let's see, what will we do today? Oh, we're going to do a copper one. Here's like this, like a copper. And sometimes I'll even put gold in the middle, but we're going to start with the copper. Just like that. I'm being a little bit more heavy-handed than I usually am, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah. And that's with the copper. So it still looks weird. Why? Because we haven't done our eyebrows yet. So then, because my hair is this color, I've been going back to this, and I use this. It's literally like a red-brown shade. Perfect for my eyebrows right now. I'm not saying this is the way to do things. This is just what I've been doing myself. Isn't that so satisfying when eyebrow color gets on? I think it's like so satisfying when your eyebrows come to life. I love that part. I don't do the trend of gluing your eyebrow hair straight up. I just feel like that's for young people because they have such smooth, beautiful faces. With that eyebrow look, they can get away with it. I feel like for people my age, over 50, any age over 50 really, once you start having wrinkles and your skin is not the same and things aren't where they used to be, gluing your eyebrows straight up I just don't think we can pull it off. I just think it looks bizarre. Don't you think? But if you're one of those people over 50 that looks so young for your age, you could probably get away with it. But it also could be that I did love that Kevin Aucoin aesthetic from the 90s when he took all those thick, bushy Brooke Shield eyebrow hairs and he was like, we're going to pluck them and make them ladylike again. I love that aesthetic because I think everyone looks good with a ladylike eyebrow when it's really, they put the time into shaping it and it's not all like super hairy looking. Oh, I didn't bring my eyebrow brush to like fix this. So, and I usually use an eyebrow brush to kind of fix this, but that's what it is right now. And then sometimes I'll take my light color again just to make sure it's none of the powder from that. Kind of took away from my light that I put under there. Yeah, I'll have to clean that up again because I didn't bring the brush. Okay, lips are next because now that's the next thing that looks weird. Oh, this is the NYX liner. It is in the shade, what is this one? It's some type of, oh, it's called Natural. It's so subtle. So if you're afraid of lip liner, you could try these light colors because they are so subtle, you can probably barely see them in this lighting. Oh yeah, I slather it on because I need it to last all day. There's that, very subtle. And I love how if you don't use lip liner, here's the thing. It prevents your lipstick from feathering. This is just a Clinique one. What is the color on this one? This one is Bare Pop. B-A-R-E. It's a nice natural. There's that. And we're not done. Then, you know, I love these Milani lip glosses, right? I've talked about these a million times. I will link it. Just in the center. Don't need a lot all over the place. Okay, so that is a daily lip. Now, let's hurry and get some mascara on. It's coming together. I'm using this one. This is that, what is it called? The Maybelline Colossal. I started using this one because my Hourglass one got a little bit too old and a lot of you told me to throw it out. Which it's so hard to do when you spend like $50 on a mascara. I have a really hard time throwing those out, but you're right. I know that too. Oh my gosh, but it's fine. It wasn't irritating my eyes. I understand the risks of conjunctivitis. I haven't had a serious case of pink eye since I was in high school when I went to a student government convention in Yuma, and there was so many kids there. We were packed in, and that's where I got it because we're all touching everything and then rubbing our eyes because Yuma. Oh, I like to put it on the bottom too. It's not easy to do when I'm doing this. I'll just go like right in the middle. I won't do the whole okay, is it starting to look like me now? How does that look? Okay, it's a little heavy-handed on the eye makeup. I'll tone it down. And I still wasn't sure what I was going to do. My poor thin hair, I tell you what, I'm so tempted to turn it back blonde, but if I do, it will all fall out and then I'll have to end up chopping it off again into, a pixie, which I don't want to do. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I don't know. This is basically it. Then, I forgot a couple steps. We've got to use our Dior blush to give me just a tiny pop of color just on the apples of the cheeks. Just a tiny bit, like right here. Right here. Wow, this is a long video. Holy cow, it's 30 minutes. What in the world? Just a tiny pop of color. Dior, this is their pink one. And then using the ELF or ELF. This is the coconut mist. I use this to set everything. Oh, I love it because, where's my fan? I think this is probably why too, that my makeup does not budge and it will stay all through work, so I can film a video after work and not worrying about having to put makeup on. It still looks, I know this is just my normal kind of everyday, but yeah, I change it up a lot. I do. Okay, and then that's it. I am going to fix my hair a little bit before I do the video. And now I'm off to film that video. You'll see that will come a little later today. Okay, see you over there.